Hey there guys, I am Turkey, and wow, it has been a while since I've talked about animation memes. I realize most of my audience now is here for Dead by Daylight content, but if you didn't know, I used to make a lot of commentary videos on animation memes back in the day. 2017 was really when I kinda hit my stride with them, but eventually stopped for a few reasons. Number one, my undiagnosed ADHD was worsening rapidly over the years, which made it hard to make much of anything, even if I wanted to. And number two, I rightfully received a lot of criticism about my not very well thought out opinions and review videos, which I'd like to leave in the past after this video, but this is a topic that I've had on my mind for years now, and I'd really love to dive into it. People here for DBD, this video probably isn't for you, but for those of you that are fans of animation memes, I hope you enjoy, and maybe what I say will resonate with you a bit. So, animation memes. They've been around for a very long time, more than 10 years, and they've changed and evolved a lot in that time, which is a good thing. We've seen the rise and fall of a lot of incredible animation memes that hold a very special place in my heart, all varying in their uniqueness and skill level. I remember back when the hardest meme that you could do and took the most work was the Soul on Fire meme, which still holds up a lot to this day. Then, as animation memes gained a lot of traction and popularity, so did the rise of content creators who talked about them, from making reviews to top 10 lists to compilations. There was a large and diverse pool of content about memes that you could consume, and there was something for everybody. But one genre of content in particular also gained a lot of traction alongside animation memes' popularity: animation meme criticism videos. There was a sudden explosion of videos that just absolutely dug into memes, calling them lazy, uninspired, repetitive, and just overall bad across the board. There's nothing inherently wrong with this. Of course, people are allowed to dislike and even hate memes, and yeah, memes are inherently repetitive and generally pretty simple, so I can see how they won't be for everybody. That's not where the issue lies. The real problem with this genre of content came from the fact that some of these popular figures who were critiquing animation memes didn't understand them or what they were supposed to be. I'm not going to name any names, but I'm sure you have a few specific people in mind. These people would make several videos ripping apart animation memes, but just by the way that they talked about them, it was very apparent that they didn't really understand what the point of an animation meme was, and a lot of the time only had a surface level understanding of animation itself. So what ended up happening was a sudden and large increase in the standards that were in place for the kind of quality that you could expect from an animation meme. Suddenly it was expected that you have fluent, flawless animation with an overarching story and fleshed out developed characters with shading, backgrounds, high skill editing, and long story short, your meme needed to look like that it came out of a professional animation studio, otherwise it was lazy and terrible. I'm going to go more in depth with this, but firstly, let's define what an animation meme is. The Animation Meme Wiki defines it as such. Animation memes are short animations of a character dancing or sometimes singing along to music with the intent to be spread or repeated by other animators with their own characters. They usually involve simple, repetitive actions. This is actually a pretty good definition, but let's expand on it a little bit so we can have a solid definition that we use as a framework for this video. Basically, an animation meme is a formatted animation or animatic created with the intent to be recreated by other people. It uses music, has repeatable and versatile movements and/or theme, and repeats itself usually to the beat of a song. It doesn't necessarily have to be simple, but it typically is. That's basically what an animation meme is. I create a little movement with a character, and other people are invited to recreate that movement with their own character, or a character from a piece of media that they like, which is what I typically do. I think the main point that separates an animation from an animation meme is a meme's repetitive format. I think, in my opinion, that for something to be a meme, it has to repeat some action or part of itself at least once. Not everybody will agree with me on this, but this is an opinion that I have that I think is an important distinction to make in the animation meme community, since the term animation meme is used so loosely. If you have a fully animated video from start to finish, almost none of it repeats or follows some kind of format, it just moves from one scene to the next, then it is not an animation meme. It is an AMV, which stands for animated music video. Or just simply, it's just an animation. Nothing about an animation, even the invite to recreate it using your own characters and story, makes it inherently an animation meme. Because quite frankly, when you use complex backgrounds and character context that is specific to your own character's story and none of it repeats, how are people supposed to recreate it with their stories and not change it in some significant way to where it ends up being nothing like the original format? Now, I'm not saying that you can't have any variation when creating your own versions of animation memes, but when you have to dramatically change them to fit the story of your character, then all you're really doing is making two different animations with the same song. What separates an animation meme from an AMV is repeatable and recreatable format. But I see a lot of people, and have for years, post these fully fledged, shaded, studio quality animations that are very long and put original meme in the title, when there's just no realistic way to actually recreate them, and not a single frame of animation is reused. If these animations aren't repetitive, can't be easily replicated, and the original format would be lost in the attempt to recreate it, then I don't think they're really animation memes, they're AMVs, which stand as their own thing. And I'm of course not saying that making super high quality animations is a bad thing, not at all, I think they're great. They're just not animation memes. I think the community's collective agreement to call anything that you invite people to recreate an animation meme has ultimately done more harm than good. Because what ended up happening from a lack of splitting up the correct terminology is that the ever-rising quality standard for what makes an animation meme good has risen so high that making something simple and repetitive, like what animation memes were always intended to be, is seen pretty universally as lazy. And I think the most disheartening thing that I've seen is a lot of meme animators losing a lot of motivation and feeling insecure with their work, and some of them even feel inclined to put lazy in the title of their perfectly good and fine animation memes, because I guess they're nervous that they're going to disappoint people with something simple, which honestly breaks my heart. Animation memes are supposed to be simple, fun, and usually, yes, pretty easy. Also, the idea that memes are only supposed to be used for practice for real animations one day was also incredibly harmful overall for the community, because no, not everybody who makes animation memes intends to be a professional animator or even really wants to improve their art and animation. Sometimes people just do shit for fun and it doesn't go any deeper than that, and that's completely fine. But what happened is that over the years, with the prominence of these big criticism figures in the community who for some reason had a lot of say and power in how animation memes should be viewed and made, people felt the need to defend themselves from the harsh eye and criticism of these people and the unrealistic quality standards that was now expected from these animators who only ever really wanted to make these silly little animations and animatics for fun. What was the outcome of all of this after the years? A very sharp decline in how many animators were posting memes, because a lot of these people genuinely believed that they have to spend weeks and even months working on these studio quality animation memes, otherwise their work isn't good enough. And I've seen a drastic decrease in the amount of new animators who are coming in who are just getting started out, who just want to make stuff for fun. Maybe they're being persuaded away from starting to make memes in the first place because they're scared that they're not good enough. And this really does upset me, because it really genuinely feels like people can't just have fun anymore, and I hate that. What is the solution to this? I think just calling what we're creating different things would be a great solution. I'm sure you guys can come up with better names than me, but I'm proposing that we call simple, repetitive memes animation memes, since they've been called that for 10 plus years already, and fully animated, complex, non-repetitive animations AMV memes. For example, if you made a little animation of a cat jumping on one leg to the beat of a song, you'd call that an original animation meme. Meanwhile, if you create a minute-and-a-half animation with your characters going through a story with a lot of different and unique shots that don't repeat much, you'd call that an original AMV meme. Even just this distinction does a lot more than you'd think, because now when people click on a meme video, they have a better idea of what to expect when they watch it. They're both still memes, they'd just now be their own respective subsection of the genre, so the quality standard would be different for each. Animation memes would be expected to be more simple, while AMV memes would be expected to be more complex. There is a place in this community for both types of content. I just think that it's important that while they exist together, they're still inherently different. I also want to clarify that I'm not saying that all criticism of animation memes is a bad thing, of course not, but I don't think it's any secret that people have been extremely critical to the point that the entire community changed as a whole in an attempt to reach these extremely high standards. Of course, you're allowed to create that 3-minute animation with backgrounds and a story and an overarching theme, but at the same time, you should also be allowed to post that 20-second little dance that repeats over and over to some electro song from 2005. We can have it both ways, and I think both are equally wonderful in their own right. I think the animation meme community needs a drastic shift in its mindset that the wave of hate and overly harsh criticism left behind. I genuinely want to see the entire animation meme community return to the community that it had back in 2015 to 2017, when people weren't afraid to post silly little repetitive memes with just a few frames and simple editing, and a change in how we label the animations that we post. I find it so strange that not many people are really talking about all of this, because I know for a fact that a lot of people are feeling the hesitance in the animation meme community right now. I honestly think that we should push a lot more for change. Hell, I'm even going to call for action from some of you that watch this video. I doubt this will even go anywhere, I'm just one person, and I don't even know if a lot of people will even watch this, but fuck it. For those of you that are feeling scared to post something simple and easy because you think it's not good enough, do it anyway. Make that headbot meme, do that 5-frame expression meme, create what you want to and have fun, and just for one video, don't worry about what people will think about it, and don't worry about being called lazy, because you're not lazy, you're just having fun, and that's what memes are all about. I promise you that your YouTube channel does not have to be an animation portfolio. If you do decide to do this challenge, put hashtag memes for fun in your title if you don't mind, because I'd love to see what you'd make. And honestly, I think that if we all agree to have this deliberate shift in mindset, we will see some genuinely amazing and wonderful videos and a lot more people relaxing and having more fun, which is what the community was made for. But I'd love to have an open discussion about this. Please share what you guys think about everything I've said in the comments, and hell, make your own video talking about how the shift in mindset has made you feel personally. This is something that I think we need to address and talk about, and I'm very open to what everybody thinks about it. And I also realize that in saying all of this, I know that I am also guilty of dishing out harsh and unfair criticism before, and while I have already apologized for it, I just want to take a moment to say it again. The things that I said a few years ago, for those of you that remember them, was unfair and damaging. I called people and things lazy, and I had no right to do that. I lost sight of what memes were supposed to be, and I don't know, I was a teenager and I was given a platform in the community, and honestly, maybe it gave me a bit of an ego, where I thought that my opinion was always right, even when it wasn't. I hope you guys can see the changes that I've made and the improvement in my attitude that I've shown since then, and I hope that we can have some really meaningful discussions about a topic that I care very deeply about. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.